Big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because our Kansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 89 days.
You know, we've all finished second in regionals. Nobody cares. You win this thing or you do not win this thing.
Right left field deep. Back it goes to the wall. Into the bullpen. Here, Aloy with a 3-run homer. Starts it with a ball just crushed deep to left center field. To the hawk pen again. Here, the Hawks' third home run of the game. Helfrich's 11th. 8-0. Back to the wall. He'll leap. Gone again. Back to back. Helfrich has hit home runs in back-to-back innings. Aloy with another drive to left field. He got all of it. There it goes. Number 4 makes it 10-0. Swing and a high fly ball to left field carrying. Sailors is back reaching for the wall, and it's out of here. Logan Maxwell makes it 2-0 in the first inning. Swing and a drive deep to left center field. Way back. Get out of here. It's 5-0. Thomas hits a 3-run homer on a hanging curveball. Here's the 1-2 pitch. He struck him out, got him on a check swing, and the Rooster shouting on his way over the first base line. Yep, he struck into the dugout. Stretch and 0-2. He struck him out swinging. The 20th strikeout of the ball game ends it. This regional belongs to the Razorbacks. A 3-0 weekend ahead of the Supers.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
And welcome in to a Hot Take Monday edition of The Morning Rush, where the bats are hot for the Razorback baseball team as they have moved on to the Super Regional. Listen to this. Robert Mann of the Stadium Shop, who's been a part of our presenting coverage all week long with the Fayetteville Regional, just texted me this morning here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Tents are already lining up for the Super Regional. I guess folks are taking their vacation this week. That goes to show, again, how many people are excited, regardless if it's Wake Forest or Tennessee, coming in here this weekend following Arkansas's first advancement to the Super Regional at home since 2021. We're in the Busch Light Studios this morning, myself and Colton. We've got to go all the way to Boston, Massachusetts, where we find Tommy Kraft. Tommy, where are we in Boston or are we somewhere else this morning?
Westerly, Rhode Island is where I'm at the moment. But I'm headed towards Boston to see a game tonight at Fenway. I've got a business meeting the next few days in Portland, Maine, so I came a day or two early just to see a part of the country I've never seen before. And then last night, got to see the Hogs win, and ESPN hooked me for that plus because I couldn't make it work without that. That's my beef for Wednesday if I don't get to join you. ESPN nailing us all on this plus deal last night. But what a great win for the Hogs, and it's going to be a fun weekend. And now we get to decide tonight, I guess. Get to choose sides between Wake Forest and Tennessee.
And I'm torn, because Tennessee is the more polarizing, captivating team. We know about the dynamics within Arkansas and Tennessee fan bases, Tony Vitello, Dave Van Horn. But I think that Wake Forest is the road less travel, the easier route to Omaha, to the College World Series. I mean, either way, I think you're going to have a great chance of moving on past this weekend. Don't know if it'll be Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But I'm kind of going back and forth on who I want in the building here this weekend.
I know this. It wasn't a great weekend for the Southeastern Conference. Texas goes down, LSU's in trouble, Tennessee's in trouble, Vanderbilt's eliminated, Texas eliminated. Now, I like it for the Hogs because, hey, I don't believe that Texas is no longer a great team or Vanderbilt's not a great team. If LSU and Tennessee go down, that's fine too. I'm normally a root for the league guy, but I think the path in Omaha gets a lot smoother if those teams, slipped on the banana peel. So I am not rooting for Tennessee. I think it would make the atmosphere in Baum Walker, probably 3 times better. It's going to be good either way. But I'm planning on being in Omaha, and I want the easiest path to that.
That's where
I think it's kind of unfolding now. Now listen, if these teams are good enough to get there, they're good baseball teams. But I don't really want to go up against Texas, LSU, Tennessee, because I know how good they are, and all you got to have is one bad inning and you're beat. I think this is setting up advantageous for the Razorbacks, and I'll be rooting for Wake Forest.
Josh and Harrison also on that train says, go Wake Forest. I don't want Tennessee to win anything. That's how he feels about this upcoming matchup later on today, 5 o'clock. Don't know how many of you will take that in or not, but Wake Forest and Tennessee do play at 5 o'clock today. As we get rolling here this morning, we are brought to you by Mock Legal Solutions. Jackie, Cement Head, they have opened their second location in Sallisaw, right across from the courthouse, to serve LaFlora and Sequoia counties even more. Not only do they handle all family law, Jackie's got 13 years in car wrecks, slip and fall, dog bite cases, and more. So you can get that insurance check or wreck check. They understand times are hard. They're tough. Not all of us can afford to pony up $5,000 worth of retainer and then ask for more money down the road. So they offer flat fees, low down payments, and payment plans. Laws have changed. And yes, joint custody is the default, but they are not afraid to go to trial and are successful when they do. Go to mocklegalsolutions.com. That's mocklegalsolutions.com. Real advice, reasonable price. All right, so you mentioned being in Rhode Island. You've sent me some pictures already. We've explored ESPN campus. We've been to the Ben and Jerry's factory. What else is on the docket? What else is on the itinerary outside of the Red Sox game here these next couple days?
Okay, so I started yesterday morning early, Portland, Maine, drove across Maine, beautiful drive up around Lake Sebago, and then across New Hampshire down to along the banks of the Swift River and the White Mountains. Just absolutely gorgeous. I can see why people come here in the fall. All the way across Vermont, went all the way over to Burlington, saw Montpelier, went by and took a picture of the Capitol in Vermont, sent it to Tom Murphy just because I know how much he loves state capitals. It's a very small town, very small capital too, by the way. Then back down through Vermont, went by the Basketball Hall of Fame. It was closed, but at least took some pictures from the outside there in Springfield, Massachusetts. Drove by the campus at ESPN, which, it's large and there's a lot of satellite dishes, but there's only like one sign that says ESPN on it. So it's kind of incognito in a Bristol's not what you would think. It is not a metropolitan area. Then, right now, kind of along the coast of Connecticut, and just crossed into Rhode Island. I'm working my way to Boston. I'm going to go to Fenway and see the Angels and the Red Sox tonight. Bucket list venue for me. And then I've got some business meetings with some engineering type people for our business in Portland, Maine, for the balance of the week after tomorrow. So that's kind of the agenda for me. That's what brings me to the Northeast this week. But beautiful part of the country. I've got this like bucket list thing in my head that I'd like to see all 50 states at some point, and I think after this little trip I'll be at 33 or 34. So I'm gonna be in like six, 7 states in 3 or 4 days. So pretty good deal.
Providence was really cool. I think we had been to San Francisco already 3 years ago, but being in that, like you said, that part of the country that I've never explored was pretty unique. Now, one of the things you said yesterday, and we'll bring it close to back to Arkansas. There is some nice parts. There's some scenery, but you said it. I don't know if you said it didn't hold a candle, but there's more. You just feel it more at home with Arkansas, some of the nature and stuff.
Yeah, it's not Arkansas, but but there's parts of it you're driving through, and you'd swear you're driving Highway 23 from Ozark to, up to Huntsville or somewhere, or across 412, going from Harrison to Mountain Home or something like that. There's parts of New Hampshire and Rhode Island that remind me a lot of our home state. And so really cool part of the country. I see why, and I would love to come back here in the fall. Never an easy time of year for us to slip away, but I see why people come here with the leaves have not changed. Obviously, they're all green right now, but just the vistas and the views, and it's a lot like the Ozarks, except I think their leaves are a little more vibrant. But good seafood. I've had one good seafood meal and one good Italian meal so far yesterday. So I'll see what adventure unfolds today before I get to Portland tomorrow.
You were talking about the Southeastern Conference. I was just curious today what those games look like concerning SEC teams. You've got it close with the opponent for Arkansas coming in. If you go to the Bet Saracen app, Tennessee is a 1.5 run favorite at home over Wake Forest. Ole Miss could have been eliminated last night. They stayed off elimination. They'll take on Murray State for the right to move on to the Supers in their region. That game is later on at 5. North Carolina is a 1.5 run favorite against Oklahoma. And then how about the Little Rock Trojans and Chris Curry? I mean, they've been outstanding thus far. You got to give them credit for what they've done. Might as well get the Troy theme music going because they're embarking on a journey later on at 8 o'clock tonight. So they win yesterday pretty handily. LSU is a 4.5 run favorite, again, on the Bet Saracen app. You can find all of the baseball betting lines. NBA Finals starts on Thursday. You've actually got an Arkansas connection on Indiana that we'll tell you about here coming up. But all of it is on the Bet Saracen app, Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. But Tommy, how about the Trojans? Didn't expect much. Didn't expect them to make it this far, and yet they're a win away from advancing to the Supers.
Yeah, that is surprising. And I forget the team they beat in the first elimination game. That was their first tournament win ever. So now they got a couple of tournament wins under their belt. Obviously,
yeah, they beat where you're at right now.
Rhode Island, okay. So this isn't a program that's got experience or history in the postseason tournament. They won their first ever in program history tournament game during this regional. So I've got to, and I may be wrong about this because I'm wrong often, but don't you kind of figure the SEC after the weekend they've had, just the odds tell you that the SEC does well today, that LSU will do well, that Tennessee will do well, that LSU's not going to fold like that. I mean, you've already got Georgia, Florida eliminated. We've talked about Texas and Vanderbilt. We were sitting here having a legitimate conversation last week about, well, how many SEC teams are going to get to Omaha? Could it be 6? Right now you're hoping to have a small handful at this point. I still believe the SEC is the best conference in baseball. They had a really bad weekend. I got to believe some of these bounce back tonight, though, and kind of salvage the reputation of the league a little bit.
I would think so, but one of them did not bounce back yesterday, and that is our opening drive this morning. The Texas Longhorns go down at home to UTSA.
Ground ball left side. Seguin, nice throw, and this one is over, and Little Rock gonna play for it all tomorrow night right here at Alex Box Stadium as they win it 10-4. The party will continue for the Trojans and their fans.
The little engine that could.
This is the opening drive.
So that's the Little Rock highlight right there. But I wanted to again tie in the Texas Longhorns defeating themselves. I'm sorry, UTSA defeating the Texas Longhorns, and that was kind of a fun. Runners. I thought it was funny. Big McDonald's clip there as well. But how about Texas going down to UTSA? I don't think anyone expected that.
The payoff. Swing and a miss. Pack your bags, Roadrunners. You're headed to the Supers.
So that was surprising, the outcome itself. But also, I don't know if you caught this, Tommy. Jim Schlossnagle, head coach at Texas, not Texas A&M anymore, Texas, when signing off with the interview.
Coach, we appreciate it. Good luck today. Thank you. Yes, welcome.
Gig 'em. Guess he's used to saying gig 'em over hook 'em, but that was caught yesterday, and that was a bad.
That's a fireable offense there.
In the minds of many Texas fans, you just add on to it when it comes to that situation.
Ooh.
But this is, I'll say this. This has been
Ooh,
more of a.
That's like calling your second wife by your first wife's name. That's not going to fly. That's not going to end well for you there.
That is that's going to be there's going to be a talking to. But I will say, and I've listened to baseball analysts talk about this weekend that have followed the sport much more closely than I have, and just the craziness of teams expected to move on. Tommy, once again, number 1 overall seed. We'll talk with Ryan McGee about this coming up at 10:30. The number 1 overall seed does not win the national championship. Since 1999, only 2 of them have. Miami Hurricanes and the Tennessee Volunteers last year. Vandy doesn't even get out of their own regional as the number 1 overall seed. So that trend continues within college baseball. One of the more peculiar stats that we reference each and every year. But from an entertainment value standpoint, and Arkansas had one of the least entertaining regionals in their own game. Now, the games between North Dakota State and Creighton, and then Creighton and Kent, like there were some good games that really weren't involving Arkansas. But I think as we bring it back home here to Fayetteville, what was nice about this weekend is you didn't really fret. You didn't really get nervous. You never felt like this team was going to even lose a game, much less the regional. So that's more than a lot of fan bases can say based on what's occurred here in the first weekend. The teams that have already been eliminated, and the ones that are heading into the day with the possibility of going home or staying home.
So, why did it happen? Let's talk about why. Is the Southeastern Conference in baseball not as good as every pundit, every talking head, all of us, believe it is? Or was it too much of a let your guard down, too much of an exhale weekend, and you got caught with your britches down a little bit this weekend? Which is it? Because I still have a hard time believing, based on the draft selections, based on the coaches you've got, based on the whole package. You're not going to convince me, even though the league had a bad weekend, that the league's not as good as people think. I think the league is the best, but I think maybe the gap is narrower than we thought. And I think there is something to the idea, Ty, that programs like, oh, man, we're finally through with playing SEC teams. This will be easy, and they let their guard down a bit this weekend.
So help me on this, Colton. Just I want to make sure, because that question, I believe, Tommy, or to your question, I think Auburn and Arkansas are the only SEC teams to punch their ticket, right? I think that's correct. Might want to double check me on that. There's several SEC teams today that haven't got. I think so. In this time of year, it's very unpredictable. A lot of times you will go with the higher seed. You'll go with the favorite, especially when they're at home. And more often than not, that'll help you. Then it'll hurt you when it comes to betting and this. But this, I don't have an accurate answer for you, because I'm just as surprised as you and anyone else. Like I had no expectations that Texas wouldn't make it at least to the Supers. No expectations that the number 1 seed Vanderbilt wouldn't make it to at least the Supers. The fact that LSU, give Little Rock credit, taking LSU to a final game. Give Murray State credit, taking Ole Miss to a final game. And then on the other side, like Oklahoma's taking North Carolina to a final game. So there are some teams that you didn't necessarily expect to give you this much. Wake Forest giving Tennessee all they won in the Knoxville regional. So I think before we lay out judgment, it is, and I know teams have been eliminated, and surprisingly so, but let's see what happens this week, and let's see what happens today, like you referenced. Let's see what happens next weekend, because I'm still not betting against the SEC winning the whole thing. I mean, is anyone else?
Either. Yeah, well, and then we had Mike Rooney on last week, and I watched some of the squeeze play coverage, and and there's been plenty of others on the SEC network to point out there's been a stranglehold by this league on the championship round since 2019. Hadn't been any other, correct me if I'm stating this wrong, but no other non-SEC teams even in the championship round since Michigan in 2019. Mm-hmm. So it's been SEC versus SEC. That's how strong the stranglehold has been by this league, and it appeared throughout the course of the regular season this league was as strong as it's ever been, based on RPI, based on rankings, based on projections and drafts, there was no reason to believe what happened this weekend, that this massacre for the SEC was likely to unfold. That's why I do believe that today the SEC will prevail in the majority of these winner-take-all games today.
That very well could play out. I kind of like you. I wouldn't mind seeing Ole Miss, LSU.
Oh, I hope they all lose.
Oklahoma,
I hope they all lose.
Get eliminated.
I hope they all lose
later on.
Because I do believe they're the better teams in the country, and I want the smoothest path to a national championship. You got to get through either Tennessee or Wake Forest, whoever it is. I don't really care because one of them's going to be eliminated if you win, obviously. I want the smoothest path in Omaha. So I want teams to think just getting to Omaha's the brass ring. That's the gold ring. Because I don't think Arkansas feels that way. I want teams to get there that believe that, hey, just getting to Omaha is enough. I think Arkansas will be hungrier than that. So maybe I'm simplifying it, but I hope all the SEC teams lose today.
That is the hope. Again, we don't know if they'll play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday just yet. Arkansas will find out their opponent probably about 8 o'clock Central Time later on tonight after the conclusion of Wake Forest and Tennessee. Hey, we are brought to you by...
You have a preference?
Wake Forest.
No, I mean Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You care?
I mean, I think for fans, you don't want to have to plan on Monday. So I'll say Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, it's just easier. Monday, everyone's getting going. Like for me, I got 3 hours of sleep because we did the post game late last night. I'm on my second cup of coffee this morning. I think it would be, I think for our fan base, you'd rather have Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Maybe
I got you.
Maybe, what do you think?
I think you're a little more in the spotlight Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but I hear what you're saying. I think what you're saying is right too.
There is truth to that. And maybe I should think more about from a national standpoint. But I think Arkansas baseball is in the spotlight regardless because now, Tommy, you're the highest seed remaining. With Vanderbilt and Texas going down, that is something that Arkansas has to deal with the rest of the way. Hey, we're brought to you by the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. They've been serving Fort Smith for over 40 years. Residential, commercial, high security, automatic gates, they can do it all. Plus, financing is available, 18-month financing. Get your free quote today at thefencemanAR.com. That's thefencemanAR.com. Or give Sean and his team a call at 479-782-3936. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work. All right, so between now and when we check back in the 10 o'clock hour, are you going to get anything done, or are we just still driving? What's the plan? We got about 10 seconds.
I'm going to just get some driving done. I'm going to say on the scenic byways. In Rhode Island.
Okay. All right. Well, be safe driving. We'll check in the second hour as we continue on. It is a Hot Take Monday. What is your hot take this morning here on the Morning Rush? We'll get to that. Your hog update here from Dave Van Horn coming up next.
Exclusive coverage at the Fayetteville Regional, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, Arvest Bank, and Shelter Insurance agent Chris Dooley.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better series than what we got right here.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanAR.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Summer is finally here. Come check out Kofer's Boat Center's huge selection of boats with extra rebates for a limited time. Kofer's features low pontoons and fishing boats, Malibu and Axis wake surf boats, Camus bass boats, and Kofer's has recently added the luxury line of Harris pontoons. Kofer's experienced professionals will answer all of your boating questions, and their award-winning customer service is second to none. Plus, they have the best boat storage option in town. Find them online at Kofers.com. That's COPHERS.com. Kofer's Boat Center, providing family fun since 1971.
Well, I'm drinking. There ain't much else going on.
This is the Morning Rush.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
I have enough trouble deciding what's for lunch. Imagine how stressed I was during the home buying process. Thankfully, Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, took the reins.
That's right, Ty. Buying or selling a home is the biggest financial decision you'll ever make. I have years of experience and proven expertise that help guide you through the process.
All my female friends love my house. I'm not kidding either.
Trust me like Ty did to guide you through every step of the way. Call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. Big decisions, simple solutions.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage. It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4.
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging, your Xerox authorized dealer in the River Valley. Xerox is more than just a brand, it's your ultimate business partner. Whether you need high-speed printers, powerful copiers, or seamless cloud solutions, Xerox has the tools to keep your business running smoothly and efficiently. And right now, for a limited time, we're offering a free Xerox color printer with the lease or purchase of many Xerox models. To learn more, call us at 783-6600 or visit us at dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, your partner in business success.
Summer is finally here. Come check out Kofer's Boat Center's huge selection of boats with extra rebates for a limited time. Kofer's features low pontoons and fishing boats, Malibu and Axis wake surf boats, Caymas bass boats, and Kofer's has recently added the luxury line of Harris pontoons. Kofer's experienced professionals will answer all of your boating questions, and their award-winning customer service is second to none. Plus, they have the best boat storage option in town. Find them online at Kofers.com. That's COPHERS.com. Kofer's Boat Center, providing family fun since 1971.
Hey, Tuesdays is a great day to stop by Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. I know everyone thinks tacos on Tuesday, Brooklyn, but you guys have taco pizzas on special as well, plus some special drink prices on Mexican beers.
Yes, we have our $1 off Mexican imports, $2 off margaritas, $1 off when wearing a Papa's t-shirt.
How many Papa's Pub t-shirts do you have?
Quite a bit right now in stock.
Come on by and see us at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There's only one Razorback.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those.
7 down.
This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Colin. Alex has got room.
Everybody, woo big Dewey. This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
It seems like he hasn't really pitched in a while. We knew he was super fresh and he was going to have really good stuff. All we were really trying to do is throw the first pitch for a strike and get ahead of him. Wood has 2 really good pitches, and sometimes he has a third. Gackle has 4. And we just felt like once we got through the sixth, if we brought him in and he was on, gave him a 4 or 5 run lead, then he could finish the game, and he did.
1-2 to Gillen. He struck him out swinging. 18 strikeouts in 8 innings. And Gackle strikes out the side in order. Flat out overpowering. If you're going to choose one word for the Razorbacks in this regional right now, the word is overpowering.
20 strikeouts. 20 for Gabe Gackle and Gage Wood. Unbelievable performance. And here's what you sum up about Arkansas this weekend. If you get efforts and performances like you did from your starting pitching and Root and Wood, I don't know how you beat this team. Because the one criticism over and over, and let's just be honest, rightfully so at times, your starting pitching has not been as strong as it has in years past. Your hitting betters, though, fielding's virtually the same, no errors in Sunday night's win. Your pitching bullpen, your depth is there. Guys who didn't even pitch this weekend, Mack, Gibbler, Fouch, some others. If you get performances like you did from your starting pitchers, I really don't know how you beat this team. Really don't.
Mm-hmm.
Gage Wood, again, 13 strikeouts. Gabe had 7 of them, and both those guys looked awesome. DVH after the game said, yeah, Wood could have gone a little bit more. It's not like his pitch count wasn't that. Let me look at it. His pitch count only
higher
was
than it's been after rehabbing, but
89 after 6 innings. And you think about the hits that led to the home run there. I mean, that could have, what the ump say, it was half a ball off the plate.
Half a ball off the plate
is a phrase. And Dave Van Horn I can't remember the ump's name, but he was complimentary. He was complimentary of the guy. He wasn't being, I thought, overly critical of that instance in that play. In fact, he talked about it.
1-2 pitch, and the umpire made a comment to Ryder because he's a good umpire. Jason's a good umpire, and he said it was a half a ball off. That's kind of tough to swallow. Sure enough, he got, I don't know, a walk and a single and then a 3-run homer. And
that's what, again, that led to the only 3 runs that Creighton scored in this game, 8-3 the final for the Razorbacks.
You mentioned no sweat tie. That might have been the only instance in which you you shuffled in your seat.
It was 6-3, I believe, at that point, and yet Arkansas just kind of kept backing away. I mean, you look at what you did run wise in the game Sunday night. 2 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth, and then nothing in the 7th, 8th. And of course, you didn't have the bottom of the ninth because Arkansas closed it out in the top of the ninth. So an outstanding performance as Arkansas. Surprisingly, one of the SEC teams that it's not surprising for Arkansas, but less SEC teams advancing than maybe you thought were going to this weekend. Other thing here in your Hog Update, I had not realized this. I thought he was still coaching Portland. One of my favorite players growing up was Gennaro Pargo.
Kicks it outside. Tatum, Pargo, he'll fire 3. Oh, goodness. They're playing the game. The Razorbacks have gotten the lead.
One of the more underrated shooters in Arkansas history, a marksman, just such a good dude off the bounce, knock down, catch and shoots. He's an assistant coach on the Pacers. Mm-hmm. We've been talking about the Arkansas connection with Isaiah Joe and Jalen Williams, rightfully so. 2 Fort Smith guys playing for the Oklahoma City Thunder. The 4th time in the last 5 years you've had a Razorback featured in the NBA Finals, but Pargo's a part of this team as well, which is cool. So you've got 3 Razorbacks involved in the NBA Finals, which starts on Thursday.
Yeah, that makes it a little bit easier to swallow the fact that I watched my Knicks lose again on Saturday. That was no fun, but luckily the Razorbacks winning. They did make things a lot easier. Don't play the Halliburton clip. It's such a good shot. Todd, what made that worse is they did everything afterwards with the TNT sign off. Oh my gosh, that was tough.
Sad.
Heart-wrenching.
Ernie Johnson, Kevin Harlan, Reggie Miller. It was
and those guys will be back, but it just won't be the same.
No, it won't. All right, that is your Hog Update here on Hot Take Monday. Hog Update, always brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
So what are you feeling right now about this Arkansas team? Has this weekend changed your thoughts? And listen, baseball, football, it's a week-to-week thing, right? Football team, I've got an odd feeling that they're going to win a game they're not supposed to this year. I've said I think they're going to go to Austin, Texas and win that game coming up in November. But it's always a week-to-week thing. And there's going to be a lot more positives. We'll see how you feel. I think in your mind, you want Wake Forest, but in your heart, you want Tennessee coming in here this weekend. Either way, Arkansas is going to have a rambunctious crowd. According to Robert Mann at the Stadium Shop on Razorback, they've been already lining up this morning, which is awesome. Speaking of Robert, Elizabeth, and their team at the Stadium Shop on Razorback have been our presenting sponsors for the Fayetteville regional coverage all week long. ShopOnRazorback.com, SHOPPE on Razorback.com. Everything you need, you're going to find it at the Stadium Shop on Razorback. In addition to the Stadium Shop, Arvest Bank has also been a part of our coverage since 1961. They've been committed to local communities. They're ready to help. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, and shelter insurance agent Chris Dooley. You can call Dooley at 479-646-6792 or email him at cdooley@shelterinsurance.com. When we return, Morning Rush Daily Question. We'll get to that. More from Dave Van Horn, more from you on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline here on a Hot Take Monday. We roll on next.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from tuning.
Hey, this is Billy Ray Smith Jr., and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Summer is finally here. Come check out Kofer's Boat Center's huge selection of boats with extra rebates for a limited time. Kofer's features low pontoons and fishing boats, Malibu and Axis wake surf boats, Camus bass boats, and Kofer's has recently added the luxury line of Harris pontoons. Kofer's experienced professionals will answer all of your boating questions, and their award-winning customer service is second to none. Plus, they have the best boat storage option in town. Find them online at Kofers.com. That's COPHERS.com. Kofer's Boat Center, providing family fun since 1971.
Hey, Ty, Tommy. Good day to be a Razorback. What a game.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
A lot of life can happen between sips of Dasani. You know, the life moments, big and small, that are worth getting thirsty for. Like organizing a family movie night under the stars. Or hearing an old favorite song and having an impromptu dance party. Or finding a new dinner recipe that the whole family loves. The crisp, clean taste of Dasani was made for all of life's thirst-worthy moments. Dasani, because life happens between sips.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. With an unheard of 15-year spring warranty option, Grit is the team you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Have you heard? TGI Fridays is having happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 till 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. to close with half-price drinks and $5 select appetizers, including potato skin, spinach dip, pot stickers, and much more. Plus, you can get in on 50-cent Wing Monday from 5 p.m. to close. And karaoke on Tuesdays and Thursdays starting at 8 p.m. It's all at TGI Fridays, I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Kristen's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
All right, we'll get to some texts coming up here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. But for now, it's our CarPath Social Morning Rush Daily Question. Rare is it that I have more than one cup of coffee in the morning, but being the fact that the post game didn't get done until after 12:30 last night and I was up at 4:15, it was a 2-coffee type of morning. So for those that partake in the daily coffee grind, I know some that drink it throughout the day. Some of you just have one in the morning. How many cups of coffee do you have during the course of a day? 877-377-6963 if you want to get in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. You don't drink anything. You don't even have water. You don't have tea. You don't have Coke, right? Rare is it that I see you with the drink over there, Colton.
Me?
When it comes to your
No, I usually have a water every day, and I do have to have that caffeine. It's one of my addictions. But there are worse INEs to be addicted to than caffeine, so I'm doing okay there.
There you go.
I would say that I used to be a bigger coffee guy back when I was working at the coffee shop, doing the coffee shop kid, because I got it for free. That was really my only reason why. I would drink it black, and I would drink it straight on a 12-hour shift that I would work there occasionally with a break in between, a 1-hour break. So 11 hours, I'd have probably 3 cups of coffee, like medium. So probably 3 when I was at my peak, but now I just, I drink like an energy drink or a soda or something in the morning to get me going, and then water for the most part. Then you're off and running. Yeah, but I have a bad problem. I drink a lot of soda. Dennis loves me.
So soda's always good. Will in Mountain Home, 2 to 3 cups for sure, maybe 4. B in Clarksville goes through 1 pot of coffee a day, sometimes 2 during the week.
I like that. Getting it out of the pot is big time, too, because that's how you can track it. You really keep track of it, and it's just old school. It tastes better out of a pot.
With the Stanley to go along with that. Jackson in Little Rock, 3 to 4 cups if you're a real coffee guy. John in Nashville goes through a pot every morning between 5 and 9 a.m. Danny in Texarkana, he has 2 big Yeti cups of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he
and let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about coffee, Ty. When I'm working at the coffee shop, these people, Danny, Jesse, Jackson, Harrison, everybody that's chiming in right now, if these people don't get their coffee at that specific time, it is a national crisis. Let me tell you, it is not good. And I can speak from experience, not because of those people specifically, but because when I didn't have my coffee and I had to serve everybody else coffee, I wasn't very nice. And that was part of my job.
Hog Dog says 8 to 15 cups in the morning.
Hog Dog's real.
From 3:30 a.m. to 9 o'clock. Then it's water after that. That's something. JT in Hot Springs saying, my stainless steel cup holds 30 ounces, and I fill that every morning from the coffee pot. So just one, but a bigger one. Again, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. How many cups of coffee do you go through, if at all? And that is brought to you again by Cart Pass Social, which we're in June. Their 1-year anniversary is coming up June 12th through the 14th. I know Christian and Nate really excited. They've got a corporate scramble on Thursday, the College World Series watch party, which Arkansas could be a part of on Friday, Cart Pass Social After Dark also on Friday, and then Family Fun Day. You say, Ty, what's Cart Pass Social? It's the #1 indoor golf facility in all of Arkansas. You can check them out at cartpasssocial.com. It's BYOB at Cart Pass Social. These are 2 Rogers boys. Nate Gearhan, Christian Olson, 2 of my college buddies that have put together an incredible facility. If you haven't seen it, you need to go check it out. Corporate events, birthday parties, they can do it. CartPassSocial.com, 122 Grant Place in Lowell, right across from Outwoods. One of the storylines from this weekend that I thought stood out to me is the interactions that you occasionally saw from Dave Van Horn and Ed Service, including the postgame.
You're the best, man. You're the toughest competitor I've ever known. Congrats, man. I wish you the best. Not too far behind.
So 2 things stand out. The audio is not great because it's not like a handheld mic or anything else. It's just the natural sound, I guess, coming from the camera or whatever. But Service mentions biggest competitor I've gone up against. Speaking of Dave Van Horn, DVH was talking about it, either following last night's win or I think it was last night's win that Service got there to Omaha, I think in year 2 of Dave's tenure in Nebraska and Lincoln. There's a mutual respect for one another. And for all the stuff about Tim Corbin, Kevin O'Sullivan that we'll get into this weekend. And listen, after losses, coaches get ticked. I don't want a coach that's happy after a loss or a series where they're the favorite and they lose. But there was respect there that I thought was cool. The other element to that clip was DVH saying, I'm not too far behind you. Now, you can read into that what you want. Ooh. But at 64 years old, I just thought that was an interesting. I don't know if it's a telling comment. What I would love to happen, and I have no idea what his timeline looks like. I have no idea what him and his family have talked about in terms of what they want to do moving forward. But I would love for him to end his career with the national championship and then just ride off into the sunset. Now, some guys are wired differently. Mm-hmm. Once they get one, it's like crack. They want another desperately. Now, he hasn't. He's been so close to tasting not just one, but multiple, being that they've gone to the College World Series so many times over his tenure. I guess 7 times, and I think he's been to 9 total when you count the 2 from, I think it's 1 or 2 from Nebraska. Either way, I'm curious, like, are we making too much out of that? I know that's not the prevailing storyline of what happened in the Fayetteville Regional this weekend, but when you hear that comment, you can't help but wonder as an Arkansas fan, what's in the mind of our head ball coach? Mm-hmm. Tell you what's in the mind of our head ball coach is who's going to win this thing tonight at 5 o'clock. And listening to Gage Wood and Ryder Helfrich, who, by the way, was the MVP of the regional this weekend, an outstanding performance. We'll get into some of his stuff coming up. But for both of those guys, hey, guys, what's the plan tonight? Are we going to watch it?
Yeah, we'll watch. I'll watch. Yeah, I'm not sure. Probably. I don't see why not.
Might as well. I mean, what else are you going to do at 5 o'clock on a Monday? I know, like for you, you're getting off work, picking up the kiddos from practice. But I'll see who's going to win that game tonight. Again, my heart wants Tennessee to win. My brain and my mind is going to Wake Forest in this game later on tonight in Knoxville, Colton.
Just a big night in general for the SEC in total, because there's going to be some pivotal moments. We talked about it earlier with Tommy. Are we going to be hanging on to see if all these teams make it? Well, no, we want them all to lose, and I hope that there's some hate watching up there in Fayetteville today from the baseball team. But Ty, that comment from Coach, when I first heard it, I thought that's just guys being friendly, exchanging pleasantries. You just say things, but the more I think about it, he really has just been working really hard to get back to that point where they were in 2018, where they're just, a strike or two and out away. And I do think that once he gets that one, that might be it. But at the end of the day, if he wants to stick around, hell, I'll keep him. Wouldn't you? He's one of the best baseball coaches in the history of the sport. And you talk about how, yes, players and everything like that, coaches can get super mad after losses. We'll see that. Have you ever seen DVH act like some of the things that we've seen over the past couple of days? No, because he's a consummate he's like the absolute most professional coach you could find. He's a great reflection of our program, of our state. It's why we love him. And I think that whenever it is time for him to retire and sail off into the sunset, and he's got those rings on his fingers that he can, piddle with and twiddle around with. I do think that by that time, the person that they're going to give it to will probably already be on staff. I think that's kind of how it's going to work out. But it is an interesting little comment to make, and I hope nobody reads too far into that and the players stay focused on keeping the main thing.
Jackson Little Rock saying Vitello is watching that video and smiling. He cannot wait to be the head hog in Fayetteville. I don't know if he'll leave Knoxville. I don't know what's in the mind. Again, this is not the conversation I want to have following a Fayetteville regional win, but it is something that at least need to be talked about. And how about this team just winning? Mm-hmm. Listen, last 2 years, and not just winning, dominating like you referred to. Last 2 years, we all know it's not just a snap your fingers. Arkansas is moving on to the Supers. Found that all too well last year against SEMO and 2 years ago against TCU. Here's how Dave Van Horn broke down just winning the regional once some other SEC teams faltered.
It's not easy. I mean, we've sat here 2 years in a row and we didn't get out of here. We went and won somebody else's regional in 22. 21, we won a regional and got beat in the last game by a run to go to Omaha. I mean, I've kind of been on all sides of it. You never take it for granted at all. You have got to go earn it. Nobody's going to give you anything. You look at who's winning around the country. You start thinking you're all that. You'll get it handed to you. These guys, they stayed humble and they got after it, and we get to hang out again together for at least another week.
What are you going to do this weekend? Can you get to the College World Series? And we act like from time to time it's almost played out as, well, man, this team hadn't been to the College World Series in a decade. It's 3 years ago. Now, they had been to the Supers in 4 at home, but for Arkansas baseball, that's like an eternity. For as expectations go, as this team continues to prosper and find success within the realm of college baseball. Again, I don't know if it's a Friday, Saturday. So Tommy talked about maybe the national spotlight is more on you Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I think it's better for our fans Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Cole, what do you want this weekend? Either Tennessee or Wake Forest, and then the Friday, Saturday, Sunday setup, or the Saturday, Sunday, Monday setup? I'm
speaking of just from a fan perspective as well. I would want them to have the maximum amount of people that could possibly be there to pack that stadium. I'm talking about people climbing over the fence just to try and get in and watching over the railings. That's what you want, and so that obviously sets up for things to work out a little bit better. More folks can make it there on a weekend rather than having to play a Monday night. But they're probably going to have to be dodging some weather a little bit this weekend, so they'll have to keep an eye on that. But I just want to make it known that, Coach DVH talked about how you have to go out there and earn it. 20 strikeouts in Game 3 to win it, and then however many home runs, 12, 11, 10 home runs over the 3-game series of the regional. That is going out there and absolutely earning it.
Yeah, and again, Ryder, a big part of that.
Throws a drive by Helfrich. Line drive deep to left. Got a chance. Get out of here. Helfrich hits another one.
Can you say enough good things about Ryder Helfrich, who's now hitting in the 4-hole? I mean, he has been awesome.
Best
for
catcher
this
I've seen
team.
play for the Razorbacks, I think, in my opinion, really.
Both ways, because you've had, and Dave was very complimentary of, I don't know if I have this clip, but
most
not
athletic
just,
catcher.
Yeah, he brings the element of both sides to the plate, and I think that's important because offensively, I mean, he's been killing it. Was he in like 329? Right now, multiple home runs.
But you say both sides because we've had the Opitz, the defensive mastermind back there, who would hit 210, and we've had like the guy from last year who hit 350 but wasn't as great of a catcher, and Ryder is the combination of both. And he's fast.
Yeah, he's
Great player.
He's an athlete. All right, more to get to here on the Morning Rush. We'll be rejoined with Tommy Kraft coming up in hour number 2. He's in the New England area doing a little exploring. He's got some business meetings to get to as well. Hey, this morning we are brought to you by Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. Can you believe they have 25 locations across the state? Farm Credit can help you remodel your home, or if you want to buy a new one, they can do that as well. You can log on to myaglender.com to see the financing options they offer. Farm Credit of Western Arkansas, making dreams come true for over 100 years. Hour 2 of a Hot Take Monday is next on the Morning Rush.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Summer is finally here. Come check out Kofer's Boat Center's huge selection of boats with extra rebates for a limited time. Kofer's features low pontoons and fishing boats, Malibu and Axis wake surf boats, Camus bass boats, and Kofer's has recently added the luxury line of Harris pontoons. Kofer's experienced professionals will answer all of your boating questions, and their award-winning customer service is second to none. Plus, they have the best boat storage option in town. Find them online at Kofers.com. That's COPHERS.com. Kofer's Boat Center, providing family fun since 1971.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and pilling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
This is the Morning Rush. The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Here's some exciting news for golf enthusiasts. The Golf Nut is thrilled to announce new arrivals for 2025, including Callaway Elite Woods and Irons, the new generation Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls, as well as a full range of lab putters, including the latest OZ model. Schedule a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators to elevate your game. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue and experience golfing greatness for over 30 years.
Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
See dealer for details. At Road
Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway, Van Buren. There's never been a better time to buy. Stop in today and check out our huge discounts on new Chevrolets and pre-owns. No reasonable offer will be refused, and at Rhodes, we always give you more for your trade. Plus, we offer free pickup and delivery. You can even buy remotely. Stop in and let us show you the Rhodes way with our 2-year complimentary maintenance program on every vehicle sold. Experience the Rhodes way. Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway, where you get the best prices, period.
At Arvest Bank, we believe in supporting growing communities. That's why we're committed to putting home ownership within reach. Whether it's your first home, a fixer-upper, or your forever home, we have a variety of loan options to help make your dream home a reality. Because everyone deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank, we believe. Equal housing lender.
Come see Cody and the gang on Advanced Mechanical Performance. You can find them at 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Need repair or service for your ATV or UTV? Advanced Mechanical Performance can do it all, as well as taking care of all of your power sports parts accessory needs. Give them a call today at 434-4161. That's 434-4161. Or stop by 3201 Wheeler Avenue. Advanced Mechanical Performance. It's what you should be striving for.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our high this afternoon in the mid to upper 80s. Clear to partly cloudy sky tonight. Overnight low in the upper 60s. On Tuesday, there's a chance of a few stray showers, so storms across the north. High temperatures mid to upper 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
They may have the distance. Davalon's giving them the lead with a 3-run homer.
Our offense is pretty special if you haven't figured it out yet. I'll just say that.
ESPN 95.3. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 89 days.
You know, we've all finished second in regionals. Nobody cares. You win this thing or you do not win this thing.
There's a line drive left field deep. Back it goes to the wall. Into the bullpen. Here, Aloy with a 3-run homer. Starts it with a ball just crushed deep to left center field. To the Hawk pen again. Here, the Hawks' 3rd home run of the game. Helfrich's 11th. 8-0. Back to the wall. He'll leap. Gone again. Back to back. Helfrich has hit home runs in back-to-back innings. Aloy with another drive to left field. He got all of it. There it goes. Number 4 makes it 10-0. Swing and a high fly ball to left field carrying. Sailors is back reaching for the wall, and it's out of here. Logan Maxwell makes it 2-0 in the first inning. Swing and a drive deep to left center field. Way back. Get out of here. It's 5-0. Thomas hits a 3-run homer on a hanging curveball. Here's the 1-2 pitch. He struck him out, got him on a check swing, and the Rooster shouting on his way over the first base line. Yep, he strutted to the dugout. Stretch and 0-2. He struck him out swinging. The 20th strikeout of the ball game ends it. This regional belongs to the Razorbacks. A 3-0 weekend ahead of the Supers.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
So plenty of heroes from this weekend's performance. Ryder Helfrich wins the MVP of the Fayetteville Regional. Here are some highlights from Gabe Gackle at 7 strikeouts. Gage Wood gets 13 strikeouts in his first start. They combined for 20 yesterday. Only had to use 2 pitchers for the Arkansas Razorbacks. But I want to talk about Logan Maxwell, who's battled an injury all year long. It's been lingering, yet he's persevered and got through it. It's hour number 2 of the Morning Rush here on a Hot Take Monday. What are your hot takes this morning? We'll get to those coming up in just one bit. We're brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Their 47th anniversary is going on right now. You could save a ton of money thanks to Burton Pools and Spas. They have 3 locations in Fort Smith, Springdale, and in Greenland. Always helping you with your outdoors in the backyard. Tom, I know you have a hot tub. You've got a pool. You've taken advantage of Burton Pools and Spas like so many of our listeners have over the years. Go to burtonpools.com. Water for a better life. That's burtonpools.com. So Logan Maxwell yesterday, Tommy.
Swing and a high fly ball to left field carrying. Sailors is back, reaching for the wall, and it's out of here. Logan Maxwell makes it 2-0 in the first inning, and the homer and Hogs hit another one. 7 home runs, not even the first inning of the third game of this regional is complete.
So he gets it started in the first inning and then adds another one later on in the game. Tommy, you talk about a kid that's just kind of dealt with a lingering hammy injury all season. I've heard Matt Jones talk about this. The only way to get rid of the injury is to not play on it, but he's battled and he's a key cog. I think he's hitting 349 right now for this Arkansas baseball team, and you love seeing him in right field have success, and 346, and loved what he did yesterday.
Where would we play if we were on a baseball team? We'd be the right fielder. We'd be the worst one. And you got and by no means is he the worst player on the field. That's how competitive this roster is. You got a right fielder, what did you say, batting 349 now after last night? And that home run highlight you just played, it didn't look like the ball was going to leave the yard. I mean,
yep.
They were talking like 98 exit velocity. It wasn't really hard hit. The ball just carried and carried and carried and carried and got out of there. So, it was one of several home runs. And what did you say earlier, Colton? 13 home runs in the regional.
Oh, it felt like 100. I'll get you an actual stat here. Give me a second.
It's I know it's 119 for the season last night. At one point, I'm not sure if there was. I think that was the 8th run was the 119th home run for the season. So program record number of home runs. I know there's times that people have complained when they have a game or two or a weekend that they don't hit a ton of or have a great offensive weekend. People get after Nate Thompson. At the same time, you got to give the guy credit as the hitting coach. You hit 119 or 120 home runs as a program. That's pretty darn good program record. So let's give them their due on that for sure.
10 home runs over the regional weekend, Tommy. And you mentioned Logan Maxwell and how, right field's sort of the place that you end up having to play. Well, it's because he's been rehabbing from that hamstring injury. And you know what? The best play that he made this weekend wasn't those home runs, Ty. It was that diving Superman catch along the foul pole. And he had to get over there, and he wasn't moving as fast as I'm sure he'd like to, but he still did that. It's a Razorback right there, man.
Yep. Text in John, and I think we got another text, Cliff, asking this question here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Jump in here if you want, 877-377-6963. So with us leaning so much on home runs to win these games, will we be in trouble in Omaha when these are routine flyouts? That's a fair question. Arkansas this season has relied heavily on the home run ball, not just yesterday, but a good chunk of them. So I don't know. I don't know what kind of effect and impact that will have on Arkansas's offense. I know that they tried some small ball this weekend. Colton, you were talking about Ryder Elfrick's athleticism a little bit earlier. There's plenty of guys on this team that are capable. You hadn't seen a ton of bunts, ton of stolen bags this year from this baseball team, but you will probably see more of it at Charles Schwab Field just because of the dimensions of the ballpark, and not just from Arkansas, but from other teams. And that's assuming they can win this next weekend against either Tennessee or Wake Forest. Now, again, Arkansas is at least advancing. You can't say that about certain teams, including Texas, who lost to the Roadrunners this weekend of UTSA. Both those regionals in Austin and Nashville were surprising for multiple reasons. Again, no coach is happy when they lose. Tim Corbin, of course, hacked off.
Does the potential for a second game tomorrow affect your season as to how you go about your...
I don't give a rat's ass about a second game. All I care about is Wright State. That's it.
But, Tim, what was the issue with the offense today?
No, we didn't score enough runs. Issue? You play playoff baseball, are you? I mean, it's tough pitching on both sides.
So he goes on for a little bit longer. Tommy, you asked a fair question earlier. It's like, hey, what do we make of the Southeastern Conference this weekend with more SEC teams than we thought going down? Now, it's a fair question. I kind of, again, want to wait and see to what happens this next weekend, how many teams get to Omaha. I would still put money on an SEC team winning it all. But I think a lot of college baseball people, just the casual fans, have been surprised at the number of teams that you just expected to move on, just kind of assumed, and they're staying at home after this weekend.
So was it a letdown of intensity? Was it they ran into better teams? Give credit to teams like UTSA and the Roadrunners. Give credit to Wright State. Give credit to UALR who's a win away today from eliminating LSU, that they didn't wilt. You know how easy it would be just to walk into a park like Baum Stadium or Alex Box or Lindsey Nelson and just wilt at the pressure of the crowds, the intimidation of you're stepping in the ring with Mike Tyson. You know, these are the teams that have been held up on media all year long, all the talking heads. We talked about the stats of the SEC stranglehold on the national title game. Man, it'd be easy to get intimidated. So give these other teams
I think we're losing Tommy for a bit. To his point, again, you do have to give some other teams some credit. We get so focused on SEC football, basketball, and baseball. Like, that's what we watch week in, week out as Arkansas fans. And when you step outside of any of those sports, then you realize that there are some other capable teams, other coaches as well, other players that are really, really good at what they do. And I think a lot of SEC teams saw that firsthand. It's not just about the Southwest Conference. Was anyone else, I don't know if you dealt with this, was anyone else annoyed that the fact that the game volume was so low on the broadcast last night, and then your TV almost exploded every time it went to commercial? Was anyone else did you experience that in the hotel last night, Tommy?
Yes.
In the New England area? It just drove me, it drove me insane last night.
Yeah. It to the point that it's been going on the whole series. To the point that I had a family member call and ask if I was at the game, and if I was, could I go up to the booth and tell them to fix it? I wish it was that easy. But yes, I had to crank it all the way up to like 60, and then the commercials, it would explode. So yes, same issue with that, and I think it went on the entire series. So
just a kind of a bit of an annoyance and everything else. I did find it. Well, if a lot of us were taking it in here on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com or Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell, which you can always take advantage of the great food at Taco Bell, including the crispy chicken nuggets right now at participating Taco Bell stores. For fans that took in games this weekend, and particularly last night when they announced the Texas score, and the majority of Baum Walker Stadium did the horns down and got up and down in celebration. There was plenty of horns down in Austin after UTSA won that game, but I thought that was a great moment outside of just the sphere of the game itself that happened at Baum last night.
Yeah. And how about the pitcher? I forget the starter with the long hair, the tall guy.
Langrel.
I forgot it, but yeah, start with an L. But that weird, starting process he had with his foot. Well, the crowd picked up on that pretty quick, and we're counting off those steps 1, 2, 3, and then every now and then he'd slip in a 4th. But he'd hold that mid up by his mouth. It tells you how kind of like a golf swing, how routine based the pitching is. So,
yeah,
but that was one thing the crowd cued in on quickly.
All right, so you're in the New England area. We've got our SEC update coming up. Before we go, what Red Sox game tonight? It's 11:11 there Eastern time. What else is on the itinerary for later on today in the New England area?
I make my way towards Boston. I'm just kind of, again, I guess I'm just getting old. I'm at a point in life where I'd like to see things I've never seen before. So, chance to do that this week. I had some business meetings that required me to come to New England this week to Maine. So why not take an extra day and see a part of the world and see some states I hadn't seen before? I've got a chance to go through Vermont and New Hampshire and Massachusetts yesterday, and now I'm kind of circling between Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. So I'm looking forward to get to Boston. It's weird. You drive around up here, all the old stuff and all the history, and it all just kind of looks exactly like you'd think it would look. So I'm in Jamestown, Rhode Island right now.
Jamestown, Rhode Island, huh? Okay.
Sounds old. Established, incorporated, 1678, says the sign.
I know.
1678.
Oh, Jamestown, Virginia. I didn't know there was a Jamestown, Rhode Island. So I guess it's like Conway, South Carolina, and Conway, Arkansas. Well, enjoy the rest of your trip, and we'll check back in tomorrow and have Arkansas's opponent by then, and know also when they're playing this weekend, Tommy.
Yep. Hopefully figure out whether it's starting on Friday or Saturday. So I'm kind of personally, because I'll be back in time rooting for a Saturday start.
Don't blame me for that. All right, we got our SEC update coming up. Who is playing today in the Southeastern Conference with a chance to move on to next weekend? Who was eliminated? We'll get into the weekend's games coming up here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. The Morning Rush here on a Hot Take Monday rolls on next.
Exclusive coverage at the Fayetteville Regional, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, Our Best Bank, and Shelter Insurance agent Chris Dooley.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better series than what we got right here.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MBA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BODY to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BODY to 321-321. That's BODY to 321-321.
People had us in the coffin. They just didn't have all the nails down.
This is the Morning Rush.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
We all make plans for the future, like car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires. Don't disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a store card. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog,
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Swiss dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for two for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for two for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. With an unheard of 15-year spring warranty option, Grit is the team you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about the tough there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally held the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas. Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Another coach disrespected our associate AD, who works as hard as anybody in our entire program. He disrespected our field crew, who are the salt of the earth. These guys would do anything for our program. It's not okay. And this needs to be brought up. Absolutely disrespectful. As a coach, it's our job to mentor young kids. And the way he treated the two site reps, the way he treated our associate AD, the way he treated our field crew is absolutely unacceptable.
Coach, could you address the situation before the game?
I don't address that right now.
Nothing there, apology or anything like that?
I handled it properly, you know, at the end of the game, yes.
All right, Colin, give us a sense of what happened in Conway, South Carolina this weekend between Kevin O'Sullivan, the Florida Gators head baseball coach, and some personnel.
Yeah. Out of the break right there, you heard the Chanticleer's head coach, Kevin Schnall, who was reprimanding national champion coach Kevin O'Sullivan for being a sore loser, to be quite honest with you. Things got changed around in the Conway Regional. Some of the times got shifted. Florida ended up having to play their game a little bit later on in the day. That started a whole ordeal with O'Sullivan, who went off and basically yelled at and screamed at a profanity-laced tirade, which is on video. You can look it up, of the NCAA site reps, one of whom, which is a Hall of Fame baseball coach. And so he yells at them, and then things go on about the day. Later on, as Florida is playing ECU, who dispatched them from the tournament, by the way, as Florida is playing ECU, Kevin O'Sullivan chirps at one of the East Carolina players who's carrying a whiteboard. He says that he can stick that whiteboard in a certain place, and da-da-da-da. The player that he chose to say that to, the player that carries this whiteboard around, if none other than Parker Bird. And if you know anything about Parker Bird is one of the best success stories in all of college sports. It's a kid that should not be playing baseball right now because 2 or 3 years ago, he lost his leg in a boating accident and now is still playing college baseball with a prosthetic leg. And Kevin O'Sullivan chooses to show his ass and rip on that kid, as well as yell at every other person that he could find about how Florida was at a disadvantage because they crapped the bed in Conway, South Carolina. So, Ty, you said it. You don't want to ever see your coach take a loss well, but probably take it a little bit better than that. A little more classy.
A little more classy for the Florida Gators this weekend. All right, what else is going on in the Southeastern Conference? So you've got some elimination games later on today. Miami against Southern Miss, non-SEC game. USC against Oregon State. Here are the SEC games. Oklahoma in Chapel Hill. Wake Forest in Knoxville. That will decide who's coming here next week or this week. Little Rock and LSU. How about the Trojans yesterday and the success story with them? That is an awesome, awesome situation for Chris Curry and company. Hopefully they get it done a little later on today when they take on the LSU Tigers. Let's see. And then Murray State against Ole Miss. Now, in terms of Florida losing yesterday, Vanderbilt going down. Maybe the biggest surprise of the weekend was UTSA taking down Texas.
The payoff. Swing and a miss. Pack your bags, Roadrunners. You're headed to the Supers.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
You know, all those Longhorn fans went to UTSA, so I don't know. They didn't know who to cheer for, Ty.
It was a tough situation for them. All right, continuing on your SEC update, Mississippi State has hired Brian O'Connor, who was the Virginia head coach, to be their next head coach. You got a new regime in Starkville, Mississippi. That was reported by D1 Baseball's Kendall Rogers last week, and now it has come to fruition. All right, that is your SEC update here this morning. It is brought to you by Oaklawn Sports. Oaklawn Sports, right now you can take advantage of all the action. College baseball, NBA Finals, it's all at Oaklawn Sports. New customers can earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets. Once you deposit, you're automatically enrolled in the promotion. Plus, there's a 10% profit boost. It's all on the Oaklawn Sports app, Arkansas's best sports betting app. Bet with the brand you trust. Bet football, basketball, baseball, soccer, tennis, table tennis, and more. Hockey, NHL, all with Oaklawn Sports. All right. Hadn't gotten to this just yet. Do you know what today's holiday is, Colton? It's a very important holiday with Tommy in Boston.
No, I'm not sure. I didn't read the notes that far.
Leave the office early day.
Leave the office early day.
This quirky national day is intended to be an incentive for those who work more than 40 hours a week, i.e., you, me, and a lot of us. We are reminding you to take a little time for yourself every once in a while. So
you getting out of here at 11:05
for all,
today?
I will be partaking in this beautiful, beautiful holiday.
As you should.
For all of us listening right now, we've given time, effort, energy, our blood, sweat, and tears to the companies we work for. So I'm encouraging all of you to take in part. We have to take in part holidays around here. So take this and use it. Utilize it. It's National Leave the Office Early Day. If your boss yells at you, screams at you tomorrow, or you get an angry email or an angry text, just send him back this response. Sorry, boss. Ty said it was National Leave the Office Early Day. I'm sure that will go over swimmingly. Hey, a place you could go is Gaston's White River Resort. A place you could leave the office early and just head up and start fishing. I know that's something that so many of our listeners have done over the years and taken advantage. If you haven't before, you need to. 870-431-5202, Gastons.com, the perfect destination on the White River. They have the private accommodations within the lodges and cabins. You can order at the restaurant or take advantage of fully equipped kitchens within the cabins. 870-431-5202. Give Clint, give Jacob, give their team a call at Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time. Every time.
Listen to that last segment, I promise you, it sounded like I walked into a barbershop and listened to two old men just go at it. That was great.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Family, that's what sets us apart. Crabtree RV Center, founded in 1950 by E.J. and Aline Crabtree, family owned and operated, serving Arkansas for 74 years.
I've been working full-time here at Crabtree RV since 1996 after graduating from the University of Arkansas, where I'm proud to carry on my grandparents' legacy.
I know if Mom and Dad could see Crabtree RVs today, they would be so proud.
Crabtree RV Center in Alma, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
This is the Morning Rush, and this isn't.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
I have enough trouble deciding what's for lunch. Imagine how stressed I was during the home buying process. Thankfully, Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, took the reins.
That's right, Ty. Buying or selling a home is the biggest financial decision you'll ever make. I have years of experience and proven expertise that help guide you through the process.
All my female friends love my house. I'm not kidding either.
Trust me like Ty did to guide you through every step of the way. Call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. Big decisions, simple solutions.
The Golf Nut is thrilled to introduce new products for 2025, including Cobra Dark Speed Adapt woods and irons, Ping G440 woods and irons, and TaylorMade QI35 woods. Lap putters, including the latest OZ model, are also available. Whether you want to improve your swing or enjoy the game, the Golf Nut offers a range of options. Book a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators and experience golfing greatness. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue for your ultimate golfing destination.
Hey, Ty Richardson at my favorite place, Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue. And Cricket, we always talk about specials. Wednesday, ladies' night. I know you love Wednesdays here.
I love my Wednesdays. All the ladies come out. We have $5.99 small cheesy bread. We have pink panty droppers on special. We've got blow bombs on special. And it's all about ladies on a Wednesday here at Papa.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Cricket, what do you think about Papa's Pub and Pizzeria?
I think it's the best darn pizza in Fort Smith and perhaps the world.
Is your DIY website killing your business and robbing your time? Modular Orange specializes in building professional custom websites for service businesses just like yours for just $95 a month. That's right, a high-performance website for only $95 a month with no upfront costs. There's a reason lawyers, dentists, accountants, counselors, plumbers, electricians, and more all trust Modular Orange to build their online presence. Take your time back to focus on what you do best. Let the professionals at Modular Orange handle your website. Visit modularorange.com today. That's modularorange.com.
Ty Richardson for Eastside Liquor, your number one stop for the Hogs Run to Omaha. Every watch party, every event, they can take care of you at Eastside Liquor. Need your favorite beer or seltzer for the Hog Pen? They've got it all at Eastside Liquor. Stop by and see Dave and his team at 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Did I mention it's lake season too? Regardless of the lake that you spend your summer, the only place you gotta stop before is Eastside Liquor.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
This regional belongs to the Razorbacks. A 3-0 weekend ahead of the Supers.
The East Carolina is the best program to never make it to Omaha. Arkansas, to me, is the best program that has not won the College World Series. It was Mississippi State. They took care of business. And so for Dave Van Horn, who has given so much to the game, and for Arkansas, that has so much college baseball history, if they were to finally win it, that would be an easy column to write.
All right, that's Ryan McGee of Marty and McGee, ESPN.com writer. Hopefully getting a chance to talk with Ryan about some baseball conversation coming up in just a bit on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. For now, just want to tell you about what's going on with Arkansas football this fall. You can take advantage of the Texas A&M game, the Notre Dame game, Taylon Green, Xavier Sorey, and the rest of Arkansas this season. The home opener is August 30th against Alabama A&M. Again, first time Notre Dame has ever played Arkansas in football. Hadn't seen A&M here since 2013. You can secure your tickets online at ArkansasRazorbacks.com. That's ArkansasRazorbacks.com. Talked to this guy late last night. Sterling is in Center Ridge this morning. Sterling, your thoughts on this weekend, man? Arkansas gets Tennessee or Wake Forest ahead.
Man, I can't wait. I can't wait. And like I told you last night, guys, people have been asking me at work who you rather play. I don't like picking my poison. So I just sit and watch the game, and whoever we get, we get. Because as soon as you say you prefer Team A come in here and kick you in the tail.
Yeah.
If you say Team B, if you say Team B, it'll be that team. It doesn't matter who you say. Whoever you say is going to end up winning and then end up beating you. So I stay out of that. I learned my lesson on that game. The guys, I'm so excited. This team, they're so smooth in their work. They didn't. I don't think anybody played their absolute best. I think they just played like they could play, and they were dominant. And that's really, I like when you just doing it. It's just a day at the office, and you still way better. It wasn't a Herculean performance.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has to be Superman on this team. All they gotta do is be themselves. Their self is way good enough, and it don't guarantee you're gonna win the whole thing or nothing like that. But I like being in these positions year in and year out, and I love that about this baseball program. And I'm a baseball guy. I'm a big three guy. I love baseball as much as I love football. I love football as much as I love basketball and vice versa. It's like kids. You don't love one more than the other, but they all different. And you can like different things about each sport. But a national championship in baseball, for me, is equal. Now, a national championship in golf, for me, it's not equal.
Yeah, but baseball is.
I'm not. But baseball is. And track is not equal, but I appreciate it.
You respect
it. But But those big three right there are on equal standing, and I hope we get it done. I can't wait to be at Baumwalker. And I heard Bart say something on the previous show, and I heard it last night on the SEC Network, and I've always thought it. But I always thought it would be crazy to ask. And now I see people, smarter people than me, talking about it. Now it's okay for me to talk about it. Why do we play this charade with, if we're going to another team host?
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. Home team the whole way. That needs to get changed. 100%. Sterling, enjoy this weekend, man. I know I saw you a few weeks ago with Brent at one of the games, and hopefully you have a great weekend ahead against either Tennessee or Wake Forest.
Yes, sir. Have a great day.
All right, that's Sterling Center Ridge. All right, and kind of in line with Sterling's conversation, I was listening to this guy, our next guest, on Saturday morning talking about Arkansas baseball. Ryan McGee, ESPN.com senior writer, Marty and McGee, which you hear on Saturday mornings here on ESPN Arkansas. Let's kind of go back into what he was talking about.
This regional belongs to the Razorbacks. A 3-0 weekend ahead of the Supers. The East Carolina is the best program to never make it to Omaha. Arkansas, to me, is the best program that has not won the College World Series. It was Mississippi State. They took care of business. And so for Dave Van Horn, who has given so much to the game, and for Arkansas, that has so much college baseball history, if they were to finally win it, that would be an easy column to write.
All right, we bring Ryan in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Ryan, I think I'm jealous of my co-host, like you probably were of your co-host on Saturday. Marty was in the North Carolina mountains. My co-host is currently in Boston and exploring the New England area. We got to get this figured out. Like, when do we get to go on these extravagant trips and do radio shows remotely? I think our co-host got the best of us this weekend, didn't they?
Yeah, I feel that way with Marty a lot because I'm
And listen, I did the show last weekend. I did the show for the Indy 500, and he was in Charlotte, and same with Daytona back in February. I get it, but you know, he does the show from the Masters and the U.S. Open and all that stuff, and I'm usually in the Charlotte office. But that but that's all right. I always say when he and I travel together, he's always in seat 1A. And they're like bringing him food on like a silver platter, and I'm in like 19B. That just means he travels too much. So if the trade off is I get to be home some, but yeah, I'm with you. You and I need to have a Zoom and talk, and we need to reevaluate our careers.
Hash this out a little bit. My co-host is doing first class. I'm in coach like you, so I understand that a little bit. Right, explain this phenomenon with the number one seed not being able to win this thing. I mean, since '99, Miami and Tennessee, the only number one seeds in college baseball to win the whole stinking thing. Tennessee wins the SEC tournament last year and wins the national championship. Why is that such a thing in college baseball?
I don't know. I've written stories about it. I've talked to analysts about it. I've talked to our stats and information nerds at ESPN about it. And we can't figure it out. And last year, Tennessee was so they changed the NCAA baseball format in 1999, and that's when they went to the format that we have now. And it's 64 teams and the national seeds and all those things. And Miami won it that year, and not a single number one seed won the national championship again for 25 years till last year when Tennessee did it. And so it's only twice. Since 1999, so it is baffling. It doesn't make, and now the number two seed's gone too. And I think what it tells you is that even in a sport that at times has been really, really like top loaded, for years, you had 8 teams going to the College World Series, and you had basically the same 5 every year with 3 other ones. LSU was there every year, and Texas was there every year, and Southern Cal was there every year, and Miami was there every year. But that's changed a lot, and every year the field is a little different. And the people I go every year, and people in Omaha will tell you, they grew up a Miami fan, or they grew up an LSU fan, or they grew up a Texas fan, and they don't see those teams every year like they used to. And so they're having to find other teams. So it's just a really, really difficult sport. And when you get on a heater, ask Little Rock, right? You get on a heater, you can beat about anyone, certainly over a 3-game series.
Who's more of America's team right now, UTSA or Little Rock heading into this matchup against LSU tonight?
Well, listen, because Little Rock's going to have prime time tonight, and because everyone knows what LSU has been, it's not even an argument. They're among the top 3 programs in the history of college baseball. And certainly over the last 30 years, I think they're number 1. And so for them to be there with a chance to win, and listen, all hands on deck, man. The kid that got the win last night is his first win of the year. So all hands on deck. Anybody you have that can throw a baseball, if you got a center fielder who throws a pretty good knuckleball, you need to have him on your pitching list because there's nothing to lose, and that's why I think people are going to be fascinated by it because it's interesting. If you think you're going to make it to the Super Regional and you think you're going to go to Omaha, you're already thinking about, if you're LSU, you went into this thinking about, all right, what about this pitcher and what about that pitcher? If you're Little Rock, Katie bar the door, throw everybody you got, and that's the situation LSU's in now. But it's awesome. A below 500 team that a lot of people probably didn't even know existed, that only pay attention like Power 4, conferences. I think it's the coolest thing ever.
Chris Curry, former DVH connection here in Arkansas, so I know a lot of Arkansas fans cheering for Little Rock to get it done against their rival later on tonight in Alex Box. We're talking with Ryan McGee here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Ryan writes for ESPN.com. You hear him Saturdays here from 6 to 9 a.m. Central Time on Marty and McGee. Ryan, let's bring things back to Fayetteville. You referenced Vanderbilt and Texas being eliminated, the 2 of the top seeds. Arkansas now the highest seed remaining. Is that added pressure, or is that just a stat that we like to throw out there now that those 2 teams have been knocked out?
I think for some other programs, it would be added pressure. I think for Arkansas, the pressure's already there. You played the clip of me talking about it on the show on Saturday. The 2 greatest programs to never win the College World Series are Arkansas and Florida State. And Florida State's been there way more times than Arkansas, but Arkansas's been there more in recent years. Florida State's not been much over the last 15 years, and Arkansas has become a regular visitor. So in the current era when we're playing, Arkansas is the best program that has won a College World Series. And so and for Dave Van Horn, a guy who is so well respected. The first College World Series I attended in person was in 2001. There with my dad, we're just sitting in the stands Father's Day weekend, and Van Horn had Nebraska there for the first time. And I've never seen anything like it, the crowd. There were literally 15,000 people lined up for a couple of thousand general admission tickets, just hoping to get in the game. And so that guy has given everything he has, his whole life, to the game of college baseball. And the only thing missing for him is a ring, and the only thing missing for Arkansas is a ring. So I think the pressure was already there, no matter what the number was next to their name. If anything, I think that number, and you being the highest seeded team, if you're the Razorbacks, I think that's an advantage, because now, you're going to be hosting in one of the greatest atmospheres in college baseball, with a chance to go to Omaha, and having been there now, you know the deal. No one's going to throw anything at Dave Van Horn in Omaha he hasn't seen before. And so I don't think it's added pressure. I think the pressure was right there.
Ryan McGee with us again here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Ryan, this weekend, Wake Forest or Tennessee, we'll know probably about 8 o'clock Central Time tonight in Knoxville whether the Demon Deacons or the Vols are coming in here. You're DVHing the staff and the team. I know, like, in your heart you want Tennessee, probably in your mind you want Wake. What do you think shakes out in Knoxville later on tonight?
I think if you are a Razorback fan, I wouldn't read a whole lot into that last weekend series where Arkansas, took the Saturday and Sunday games from Tennessee, because this is not that Tennessee team. Y'all ask Vanderbilt, ask those guys what that last month of the season gets you now. It doesn't get you anything.
Yeah.
Texas couldn't lose in the month of April, and now they're gone. And so I think, and I live here in North Carolina, my brother's a Wake Forest guy. He's not listening, so I can say this. If you're Arkansas, you want Wake Forest. Because this is not the Wake Forest. And you talk one of the great all-time, one of my favorite coaches. That coaching staff at Wake Forest is amazing. And Wake Forest should have won the College World Series, just 2 years ago, when they had, to me, the greatest game ever played in Omaha, which is that lost to LSU. And but this is not that Wake team. This Wake team this year at times has looked pretty good, not great, and at times has looked terrible. And so the fact that they even have a chance to get to a super regional is a really big deal. But yeah, if you're an Arkansas fan, I would always take the team that was happy to get into the tournament versus the team who's the defending national champion.
That's probably a good way to look at it. And Ryan, to your point about your brother, my brother, he's based in Dallas, but he goes to Winston-Salem. That's where his company's based out of. So he's got more information about Wake Forest in the last year or two than he has his entire life. So he's kind of like, yeah, we'd probably rather play Wake Forest this weekend as well. That is an SEC team that's on the brink of elimination, along with LSU, Oklahoma, and Ole Miss, depending on how things shake out in Chapel Hill, Oxford, and Baton Rouge later on today. Ryan, why does the SEC had a down weekend thus far, based on our expectations, based on how many teams we expected to advance? What went wrong this weekend for the conference?
It's a great question, and I wonder. I wrote a story last week for ESPN.com about, leading into the SEC tournament, about how ridiculous that tournament was, and all that's true. But I wonder if, so I went to Tennessee, that's no secret, and when I was at Tennessee, Pat Summitt was the women's basketball coach, and what Coach Summitt used to say was, I don't want to lose ever. She said, but the numbers are what they are. When Tennessee would be upset in the women's SEC basketball tournament, they almost always won the national championship. And if they won the SEC women's basketball tournament, they a lot of times would make it to the Final Four and get bounced in the first game. And so I think there is definitely something to be said. It's the same argument that we hear about football, about do we really want to play more conference games and get beat up? It's this manifesto that the SEC all handed us last week from Destin, right? Which is this proving how difficult life is during the regular season.
Was that propaganda or real? Is that propaganda real?
It was. I'll call it realaganda, all right, or a proper real. It was somewhere in between. Okay. I think it was. There was some spinning going on, but the numbers are the numbers too. But I think there's something to be said for that in baseball, because this was the first expanded tournament, and it was single elimination. And because, I'll tell people in Arkansas, the pressure cooker that was particularly that month of May leading into Hoover I think there's something to be said for that. But it's stunning, and it's but man, the buzzers start circling. As soon as the SEC, haven't won a national championship football in the last 2 years, and how all these seeds bounced in the first round of the baseball tournament. Man, the people in California and Michigan and Ohio have suddenly gotten very vocal.
Yeah, they're definitely more vocal than they have been in years past prior to that. Since 2006, Ryan always references this stat. The SEC has been involved in every single national championship or semifinal game since Florida won that national championship in 2006. So again, the SEC has been, and if you want to count 2005 in Texas, you can do that, I guess, nowadays. So it's pretty crazy how far that now the SEC is like doing that now. It's like the SEC.
That's where it gets right.
Young,
propaganda. That's where it gets weird. Is when I go to like the SEC championship weekend for football, and they trot out the SEC legends, and it's some guy that played for Darrell Royal at Texas in 1967. I'm like, what? You got to play in the SEC. And the ACC. Well, I live in North Carolina. The ACC is even worse about it. Oh, Fred Biletnikoff, ACC great. No, Florida State was they were 30 years away from the ACC, but you got to do what you got to do.
All right, Ryan, before we let you go, we've got a couple two-parter or a couple back and forths here. So now help me on this. My brain's a little foggy this morning. I'm running about 3 hours of sleep. When you and Marty asked the coaches at SEC meet, is it biscuit or cornbread or roll or cornbread?
It was biscuit or cornbread. Biscuits or cornbread,
okay.
Yeah. And most coaches were very definitive. Nick Saban gave one of the greatest answers of all time, and Jeremy Pruitt's answer was when I was like, "Oh, he's doomed."
He just did. All right, so I'm supposed to ask you. One of our listeners is supposed to ask, between Captain America or Star Wars. Apparently, that's a topic on y'all's show. Which one of those two?
It's a topic on my show. Marty doesn't even know what Star Wars is. Like Marty, only movie Marty's watched in the last 30 years is Tombstone, and he just watches it over and over again. But I'm a Captain America guy. I have a Captain America shield that hangs on the set at Marty McGee.
Yeah.
I have a Captain America sticker on the back window of my truck. But I'm OG Star Wars, man. I was born in the 70s, so I could probably live without Marvel. I'm not sure I could live without Star Wars.
Before they ruined it with some of the newer movies, not necessarily the newer shows, but the newer movies, not as great. Squeeze play or red zone?
Squeeze play. Squeeze play is like a drug for me. Like I've never done drugs, but I kind of get it because when they go to that quad box. And they went to they had 6 games up at once, multiple times on Saturday. And I was texting Mike Rooney and Chris Budden and Chris Burke and Matt Schick going, "This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life." And they all said, "You probably should, have a better social life." But yeah, I love me some quad box.
All right, Ryan, before we let you go, how many cups of coffee are we drinking in the morning? We had listeners talking about 2 pots, 6 to 9 over the course of a day. I'm usually a 1 a day, just a one cup a day guy. How many cups of coffee are we drinking over the course of a work day?
Mine's kind of like a football game. I'll start with 2 early, and then I usually will take a break, and then I've got 2 in the afternoon. So at least 4.
Okay.
And you talking about Marvel, Star Wars, or Tombstone or whatever. I think other than maybe hair and football, the most talked about topic in the history of Marty McGee is coffee. But I didn't drink coffee as a kid or as a teenager, college, or whatever. But now I'll just mainline it pretty much all day.
We're getting older, man. I'm 30, and I found myself.
Yeah.
I didn't have to drink it 3 or 4 years ago, and now I have to. It's part of the.
Never drank it. I never drank it, and my mom would drink literally 2 pots a day. I would never drink it. But then when my daughter started elementary school, and I was having to haul her little butt. This is a long time ago. I was having to haul her little butt to school at 6:45 in the morning. And suddenly I was Maxwell House, and I became best friends.
Okay. Ryan, before we let you go, one football question. I know you guys spend a lot of time on your radio program discussing that. Tennessee, you referenced being a grad. I know there's a lot of questions about Josh Heupel's group. Arkansas is going there, I think, second week in October. 30 seconds or so. Just the thoughts on Tennessee heading into this year, transition to quarterback, and maybe what that game looks like coming up this fall when the Razorbacks and Volunteers go at it.
Well, first of all, everybody knows how I feel about Sam Pittman. I got asked a question by somebody just a couple days ago about, if there was one coach I could hang out with, who would it be? And I interrupted him and said Sam Pittman. Like it's not even a conversation. Put me on the pontoon boat with some Coors Banquet beers with Sam Pittman, and that's one of the greatest days of all time. But I think the timing is going to be tough for Arkansas because by that point, Tennessee will have figured out what their deal is.
Mm-hmm.
And Tennessee has been the unwitting tip of the spear on this NIL thing. First, them putting the surcharge on the ticket, which everybody's doing now, but Tennessee was the first. And now, they were the first ones to kind of lose a big-time guy to free agency and have a media squabble over it. So I think Tennessee's going to be fine. I don't think they're going to contend for national championship like they did have potential to a year ago. But that's going to be what we used to call $1 million ball game, that Arkansas-Tennessee game, because the winner of that game is probably going to be playing somewhere really, really nice New Year's, and the loser of that game is probably going to be playing somewhere, but might be here with me in Charlotte for the Mayo Bowl.
All right, Ryan McGee, ESPN senior writer, Marty McGee. You can hear him Saturdays from 6 to 9 a.m. Ryan, we appreciate you joining us this morning. Enjoy the rest of college baseball today and next weekend or this weekend for the Super Regionals.
And now I want a cup of coffee, so thanks for that. I'm going to go drink one right now.
All right, get after it. Again, that's Ryan McGee. Appreciate his time this morning. Hey, we're brought to you by WT Equipment. It's springtime. You want to upgrade your equipment? Well, you can do so with WT Equipment. Maybe you need a new powerful zero-turn mower or a hard-working utility tractor. They can help you out right now during the Hustler sales event. These deals end June 30th. Check them out online, WTEquip.com. That's WTEquip.com. Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones is next.
And Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor